Hey guys, welcome to your Daily Smash for Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. I'm Rick.
I'm Kelly.
Only one of us is wearing makeup. Can you guess which one?
Well, I just put a little lip gloss on. I'm not wearing an ounce of makeup.
It's remarkable. You do not need makeup.
I do. I'm
You don't.
sorry if I look horrible.
Honey, you're beautiful. You don't need a stitch of makeup. I do, though. I just did my show. I didn't do my show.
You didn't do your show. Trump was talking the whole time.
He had a rally again the day after Madison Square Garden. He had a rally in Atlanta that filled my entire hour from before I started till after my show ended. So I just sat there, listened to the whole thing. And then they asked me before I got up, turn the lights off, if I could stick around and do a talk back with David Harris Jr., whose hour follows mine. And I said, sure. So when he finished, David brought me in, and I think it was like 15, 20 minutes that we talked.
I watched that.
You did?
Yeah.
How'd I do?
You did very well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He was playing highlights from MSG. We obviously didn't go. We were in the desert. Trump was at the garden. I had a lot of colleagues who were there because it was a big news event. You know, they had to cover it. And I hadn't seen some of these highlights. It looked very entertaining.
I'm so glad Elon Musk is endorsing him.
Yeah.
The smartest man.
He is probably one of the
They-
smartest men in the
he's
world.
one of the smartest men in the world. Mm-hmm. He's so brilliant, so smart. But then we have the other part that have the left wing radical. There's nothing wrong with being left. Nothing wrong with it. But when you become radical, it becomes a problem. So you have, the movie stars coming out, and they're like, they've never built a business. They don't have intellectual property. They're acting. Like, come on, you're an actor.
I like how you were calling them liars. I was like, well, they're pretenders more than liars.
Well, no, they
pretend.
They pretend to be somebody else.
Yes.
They're trained to be liars. Like, what they're usually.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
very
sorry,
good point.
They're usually, no offense to the Actors Guild or whatever. I mean, whatever, but they're usually always far left, and they are,
Or if they're not, they won't
and
admit
there
it.
are waiters and waitresses in the beginning. I mean, they're not making the world a better place. Elon Musk is, okay? The guy is brilliant.
He is.
He's a genius.
He's building rockets.
Exactly.
Can you build a rocket? Forget electric cars.
Yeah.
Can you go to space?
Exactly.
What I thought was really funny was last week Kamala Harris had a big rally down in Houston, and Beyonce was there, and everyone assumed or was told or was led to believe that she'd be performing. So it's basically a free concert, a free Beyonce concert. She's one of the biggest stars in the world. So 30,000 people show up, and Beyonce comes out and I guess spoke for about 5 minutes and endorsed Kamala Harris and then left. And everyone was pissed, and everyone started heading for the exits because they realized it wasn't going to be a free show.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's funny that people are calling it a Nazi.
Yeah.
What? Wait, what? They're not killing Jews. What? Like, how can they spew BS, fear mongering? They love to do that. Okay. And can I just play my reel of the day?
Oh yeah, sure.
I want to play the reel of the day. I sent it to you.
Yeah,
Let's play this.
pretty powerful.
This is a pretty powerful, gets it in a nutshell of the stupidity during COVID. We know one person that was my boss that called me on the wrong side of history. I was proven to be right. So they continue to spew lies, and somebody on Patreon wrote me that some stupid, guy on Instagram said that I was, no wonder why Bravo doesn't want me back because I put a meme about Donald Trump and
God forbid.
God forbid.
God forbid you support one of the other candidates.
And I was making fun of Kamala Harris. And people were like, it was in jest and it was bad. And Mary Nikki wrote that to me. But
it was artful. Your impersonation of her, your lip sync was artful. It was very, very well done.
They call me racist. They call me all the things that they do. You guys, we all know their playbook. They love to fearmonger. They love to do that.
You want to play the...
Yeah, let's play the clip.
Bam.
Are you or your loved ones suffering from illnesses such as TDS, also known as Trump Derangement Syndrome? Do you dismiss or deny the current issues facing our country, such as historic inflation, illegal immigration, corporate corruption, World War III escalations, and the chronic disease epidemic? Are you willing to elect someone who was the least popular vice president in modern history, and who offers no policy or vision for America simply because your brain keeps telling you anyone but Trump? If so, you might be struggling from TDS. Introducing independence. Independence allows you the freedom to finally think independently once again. Instead of believing everything you hear from the mainstream media, independence allows for constructive critical thinking.
I used to hear people on the news say things like,
Donald Trump and the movement he has encouraged are a threat to democracy.
and I instantly believed it. With independence, I now realize the media is run by the Democrat elite, who are a corrupt oligarchy that censors free speech, silences political opponents, supports forever wars, and abandons democracy by anointing its candidates.
Independence may not be for everyone. If you enjoy being lied to about your president's cognitive abilities, support Orwellian totalitarianism, or are excited about communist fiscal policy, independence may not be right for you. Common side effects of independence may include an awakening of rational thought, successfully identifying propaganda, freedom of choice, loss of hatred, anti-narcissistic behavior.
How funny is that?
It's well done. Really
I love
well
how
done.
they say they're fascists. They're the fascists.
The name calling was so inappropriate and offensive. There were Jewish people in Madison Square Garden. People were waving Israeli flags.
Right.
It was the furthest thing from a Nazi rally.
But that's how they think.
Yeah.
They think so far, like to fearmonger.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? The left agenda, the far left, radical,
Mm-hmm.
they're the ones who are pro-Palestinian. What are they talking about?
Lowest common denominator. Let's find the words that might scare people the most. They're desperate. You can tell how desperate they are because they're doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for being political, but we're 1 week away from Election Day.
And it's just absurd what is going on. Like, it is calling people fascists. She's the Marxist here. Mm-hmm. She's the one who's communist. She's the fascist.
It's like setting off smoke
have
screens.
you
Like,
ever seen-
let's create some smoke so people can't see through the haze to see what's really going on.
Well, I don't understand. But I knew immediately right about COVID. I knew everything. I knew about the BLM, the Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
They were allowing buildings to be burning. They wanted to change George Washington's name in San Francisco instead of worrying about paying teachers and worrying about education. They're worrying about the most stupidest things.
Changing school names.
They're trying to fix what's broken.
Right.
And if people can't see clearly what is going on with the border situation, I know I say it again and again and again, but people need to stop listening to mainstream media here.
Yeah.
Okay? And they need to start seeing the facts.
Well, one of the things I talked about with David Harris Jr. tonight on the show was how the media has been so in the bag for Harris from day one. They hate Trump, the mainstream media. And so 90+% of every story about Donald Trump is negative. That's historically, it's been studied by independent journalism analysts, and they have determined that more than 90% of the stories about Kamala Harris are positive and more than 90% of Trump are negative. And that's just not fair. That's not how it's supposed to work. You know, you're not supposed to inject all that bias. I use opinion on my show because it's an opinion show. But on news programs, you expect that it's going to be fair, that you're going to give both sides equal footing, and you're not going to try to twist the audience's mind by making everything bad about one person and everything good about the other, even though that's not really the case.
I hate that.
Yeah.
They're a threat to democracy.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. You're the threat to democracy. You're the one who you're the cancel culture. You're the one who is the communist, that you can't have a freedom of speech, hence fact checking. You can't say anything on these big, platforms.
Mm-hmm.
You get demonetized. That's a threat to democracy right there.
Yeah. More on this on the Rick and Kelly Show, episode 164 this week, which will include highlights from Adrian Malouf's Halloween party that we're going to on Thursday night. So if you're enjoying the politics discussion, we do this every week on the Rick and Kelly Show, and we also share some cool clips of our adventures that you won't see anywhere else. Speaking of adventures, can we just talk about the drive home today?
Holy moly macaroni. Okay, so we leave my mom there, and Rebecca and I spent hours and hours working our butts off cleaning that backyard. Like, you would have no idea. Well, we leave.
Well,
and what do you know? A death storm comes.
A what?
A death storm.
Oh, yeah.
Rebecca and Tony said it was all that work. She's like, all that work that we did.
Well, that happens. It's frustrating because, we made the backyard look really nice. And then, all it takes is one good storm with a wind blowing and kick up the dust and dirt and make it dirty
It
again.
wasn't even a storm. It was a dust storm.
But not a reason not to rent Pickleball Party Town, because it's still an awesome house to hang out in. So both of us worked really hard all weekend. And we had fun, too.
Uh-huh.
And we left this morning, and I don't know how this happened. I always put our destination in Waze because it gives me traffic updates and it tells me where the speed traps are and all that. And somehow, some way, I must have put in the Jeff Lewis SiriusXM studio instead of our home. I have no idea how that happened. And we got to this one juncture where usually we go left to get on 91, and sometimes we stay on the 10. Because sometimes 91's all jammed up, and you take the 10 for a ways, and then you cut over. And when it told me to go on the 10, I'm like, oh, I guess there must be traffic. And I said to Kelly, do you want me to go the old way, the regular way? She goes, no, trust Waze. So we did. But unbeknownst to her or me, I put the wrong destination in there. So about another 45 minutes goes by, and we're cruising. And we're both, like, talking, and she's doing stuff on the phone and, like, researching stuff. And, like, we're doing work and all that. And then all of a sudden, I just kind of, like, we've been on this road a long time. I think I should have gotten off already.
Then you see downtown LA.
She goes, is that Los Angeles? I was like, oh my God. Because I had all kinds of work to do when I get home.
And I was reading stuff. Like, I was on my phone. I wasn't paying attention. I would have told Rick, hey, listen,
But I had to write my show, even though I wound up not doing it. I had to edit scripts. We have a bunch of stuff for the house, the sale,
Tony,
and the purchase.
so
much stuff to do. So anyway, it took an extra 45 minutes to get home that it shouldn't have taken.
Oh,
there's cousin Tony.
We're a reality store here.
What's up, bro?
Come here.
Hey,
Right here.
Rick,
Come here.
it's a Neosporin shit.
Tell him again.
Tell him what?
Don't say the F word again.
Okay, we have to redo this.
Okay, so what happened was Tony came in and sat down, and I sat on this little box. They're very sensitive. And I knocked the sound out.
He's sensitive.
So we're going to try and recreate the magic of when Tony came in. And
Well, he was
Kelly
taking a poop in Julie's room, and so I heard him.
You don't say that.
And I go, Tony, come in here.
You're going to etiquette school, and that's not the terms that we use. Going poop.
So what?
I was using the restroom.
What was your question to Tony?
I don't even know if you were going poop. I was just totally kidding.
Well, I can tell you that I was. I thought you may want to know because you've been asking about this, and well, yes, I was.
Okay. So he came in, and we were talking about how ridiculous the radicals are, and I wanted to get Tony's take on why the left radical party is saying that Donald Trump is a Nazi.
Invoking Nazis.
And your reply was?
Your reply was?
My reply was fear-mongering and Desperadoville. And let's just start with Desperadoville. Nazis, they killed millions and millions and millions of people, Jewish people.
Yes.
Ethnic
6
cleansing.
million. Mm-hmm.
It's the most atrocity in
the world's history.
In the human lifetime, in our record. Nothing's happened like that, not to that scale. And for you to dare invoke Nazis in Trump, you don't like him. He's not killing a bunch of Jewish people. He's not eradicating people because of their ethnicity or their religion.
It's an
How
insulting...
dare you even invoke that?
Yeah.
That is just below the belt. I mean, straight across the board. If that was in Germany, you'd be in jail.
It's also completely inappropriate.
Oh, it's beyond. It's below the. I mean.
So why is it?
That's not true.
But why is it somebody like Andy Cohen said that that he referred to Trump as a Nazi, and what would you what do you think about that? A Jewish person saying that about?
I think he needs to go back to school. He really failed a few quizzes along the way, in like 5th and 6th grade, about what actually occurred in Germany and
The genocide.
what the Nazis did to the Jews. Mm-hmm. I mean, he clearly missed the boat. And if he's Jewish, truly Jewish, and for him to say that, his mother probably won't talk to him again.
Wow.
It's like that. That's how bad that would be with his family.
Okay, that's enough about that topic. Very interesting. Tony, you really...
I thought you did better the first time.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But get out of here. We got more show to
I
do.
love you too, Rick. I don't care what they say about him.
I thought you did better the first time.
That's how it always is.
See?
You try to recreate the magic. You can't do it.
I told him.
I don't know if I messed up the audio.
No, that's not how you said it.
So, do you have your phone with you?
Tony, get my phone.
Can you bring Kelly's phone?
Yes.
So,
Kelly's phone.
I learned that in TV. Like when you do an interview and then slide
did
this way a
better the
little bit.
first time.
Slide this way a little bit.
He did better the first time.
Yeah.
He was like for them to compare and contrast Donald Trump as a Nazi is utter stupid. It's just dumb. And
it's inappropriate and it doesn't apply in any way. And it's a desperate move.
Well,
it's a desperate
Donald Trump's
move.
never killed anybody.
We don't have to rehash all that. What I want to get to now, because we spent enough time talking about that, is when we finished with Tony last time, you then started talking about the Southern Charm person.
Landon.
Yes. And it picked up when you started explaining that she had posted something on Instagram. But can you explain who she is and what the relationship is?
So Landon, I met maybe, I want to say 8 years ago in Napa. And she was a realtor. She just finished. Oh, thank you.
It's my phone. Can't find it.
Can you call it and find it? Thank you.
Yeah, that might help.
She was a friend, and I hung out with her for like an entire week, and we talked to each other here and there. I like Landon. She likes me. And apparently when that whole Andy Cohen thing went down, she took down the picture of us. She had a picture of she and I. And now that she's seeing all of this happening, she was kind of that person, like a Tamara, like a Shannon Bedore, people that are, think along the same lines as me. Mm-hmm. And when I got fired, they didn't want to associate themselves with me. I think Andy Cohen was, not Andy Cohen, I think Jeff Lewis is the only one that had the balls to include me. And she came back and she just posted on her Instagram that she's sorry.
Well, it's really, really nice.
Isn't that nice?
It really is. And we're going to have her on as a guest on the Rick and Kelly show.
Yeah. Landon from Southern Charm. I really like her. I appreciate her saying I'm sorry. And, isn't that funny that a lot of people didn't want to hang out with me because I thought differently than them? Mm-hmm. Isn't that kind of how the gays felt? Back in the day, they weren't cool enough. They were,
thank you.
They didn't have the rights. People ostracized them for being different. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm different in my thinking, and now there's a cancel culture because I don't think along the same length as them. That's fascism. That's fascism. That's Marxism. That's fascist. You got to think along me, or else you're going to be in a genocide. That's what happens.
Now back to our regularly scheduled program. Of course.
But they're so hypocritical that they will cancel you if you think differently. Mm-hmm. Like it's like backwards, right? The gays, no one wanted to be around the gays. They all thought they had AIDS back in the day. No one, like they were. If anybody knows more and wants rights, they're the hypocrites.
And someone tried to say, "Oh, Donald Trump hates gays." No, he doesn't. He's had gay weddings at Mar-a-Lago. He was the first president to appoint an openly gay cabinet member. The guy has no issue with gays at all.
He's friends with the ones the gay guy that we know.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Rick Grenell.
Rick Grenell.
That was the first openly gay cabinet member who he appointed. So, take it easy, all right? The guy is he's a lot more forward thinking than most people realize.
But I'm just saying. But I have this gay guy that is after me on Instagram and coming after me. Everybody's telling me on Patreon, and he's a bully. He's coming after women, and like no, somebody needs to cancel his ass. I don't know his name, but you can see it on my Patreon on the things. And I'm flabbergasted at the hypocrisy of these people.
Yeah.
If you don't think the way I do, you're this, and this. Lies. I'm so sick of it. I can't take it. I hope to God, praying to God, Donald Trump wins.
Okay, on that note, we got to go.
All right. Dude, how's the chicken?
Have a great day, everybody.
It's out of the oven?
Have a great day.
Okay. Have a great day, everybody.
Selenda has made this body better. Getting better with age, and it's because of this bad boy right here. The spoke in the wheel.
Minerals play an essential role in your body's functions. If you don't get enough, you can suffer a long list of health problems.
But get the minerals you need and you can absolutely thrive. We used to get our minerals from the food we eat every day, but over-farming has stripped the nutrients from the soil. Crops grown decades ago were far richer in vitamins and minerals than what we have today. You'd have to eat 4 servings of broccoli to get the calcium 1 serving provided in the 1950s. And meat has just half the iron. Here's your solution. Soul Life mineral supplements, including Re-Kick, Reform, and Selenda. They're specially formulated to ensure your body actually absorbs the minerals and nutrients inside. Soul Life has been healing Canadians for years. Now we're proud to be exclusive partners here in America. Click on our link to get your Rick and Kelly discount on these amazing supplements that can change your life for the better.
Soul Life, the minerals you need.